be in good shape. So look, I'm coming on here today. I had in meditation the other day. And listen, if you guys ever see this notebook specifically come out, like, this is my meditation journal. And it's in here that I write down all the things that I see during meditation. And the other day, it was Saturday, I was in meditation, and I obviously was in very deep meditation because I had a very powerful, well, two very powerful visions come through. The first one was we were like, I say we, I don't know who I was with. I was with another man in a museum, and we were looking at these paintings of people with no arms and no legs. And I could feel the tension in the other person building. And then suddenly he was like, cut my arms and legs off. I'm not normal. I need to look like the people in the paintings. Take my arms and legs off. And then I was transported into like a temple or a church or something like that. And I was talking to a woman. And I was like, well, they're sitting in their pews. They're just going to go to sleep. And she was like, no, we take our shoes off at the threshold because I can tell by the way their toes move if they're asleep or awake. Something about the toes. So when I was able to regroup myself, after this meditation, I came out here and I sat down and I started analyzing everything that I saw. So the people with no arms and no legs. This could symbolize a sense of powerlessness or a desire to disconnect from the physical world. It might be a longing to escape from burdens of physical existence or responsibilities. It's like there was a deep-seated feeling of wanting to shed parts of oneself that feel unnecessary or burdensome. And yeah, and it did kind of feel like this man that was expressing that he needed to remove his limbs, like it was some kind of extreme self-sacrifice, wanting to cut his arms and legs off. Okay, so the card that I pulled was a sustainer. And exactly, extreme self-sacrifice, like possibly overworked, resentful, trapped, tired. And then because these are from the Wild Unknown archetype, so while I was going through each of these cards as I was pulling them, the goddess Demeter is associated with the sustainer card. So she's responsible for agriculture and specifically the crops of wheat and barley. She's also the goddess of fertility of the land. She's responsible for fertility in the way of not only crops but also hunting. So she is the mother of Persephone, and we talked about Persephone a couple weeks ago and how Persephone was kidnapped by Hades and taken to the underworld. So when Demeter realized that she was not getting her daughter back, she withdrew her gifts from the world when it became clear that Persephone was gone forever. Okay, so then the next card to come out was the Venom. And this is about toxicity, poison, and the darker aspects of the psyche. The internal or external forces that lead someone to desire the removal of their limbs. Why would you want to remove your limbs? You're not going to be able to walk around. You're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to, so removing them. I also got this, like, when I was reading about the Venom card, I also got this sensation of like the movie with Tom Hanks. Was it Angels and Demons, I believe? Well, the book explained it better. The Illuminati. He was like one of those self-mutilating Christian warriors. Like every time he failed as part of his mission, he would flog himself. So there's some kind of extreme self-sacrifice going on here. Yeah, there's a deep inner conflict or response to pain, trauma, or negativity that's taken hold. And I was going to keep these visions to myself because sometimes these things are meant for me. But there's some kind of like martyrdom coming through, like a feeling of martyrdom. Well, anyway, so the temple, the church, or whatever, and the toes, right? So this is a symbol of subtle movement and awareness. So collectively, we're being called to really look at the subtle symbols, the little things. The sacred space where one is expected to be vulnerable and open. So like that's the church. Vulnerable and open kind of made me feel like inner child work needed to be done. Deep awareness or intuition, sensing the true state of others beyond what is immediately visible. Yeah, so paying attention to the subtle signs of life. So during this, I want you to think about what parts of yourself you may feel detached from or burdened by. So we get to card Gnosis next. And this points to the deep, timeless wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with all the senses. And once experienced, you're forever changed, and you become the guardian of that wisdom. And then I also got the empty room. The sacred space. The sacred space. This is the place of pure potential. And then I heard, before I went any further into this, I heard that God is watching our meditations. So I wanted to bring these two visions together. And we get the card Deep Dive. Wow, I just saw the word love. But not like agape love, the all-encompassing love. Like the love that is attained from gnosis. Having gnosis and being in a space of infinite potential, you can't not love. Anyway, so we get Deep Diver as the card that links these two visions together, okay? Dive deeply into what this vision represents. What feels burdensome to you? What are you trying to cut off from because you've sustained for too long? You've been the stronghold for a situation or people. Like, you've been that strong force for them. It became toxic. It became so burdensome that now you want to cut off from it. It's time to get into the secret space. Maybe meditate more, because you're going to start creating from a space of infinite potential. There was wisdom gained in this. So examine how a spiritual awakeness or sleepiness can manifest in yourself or others. Remember, the people in the sanctuary were falling asleep, and I was asking her how she was going to know so she could wake them up. And it's all about the toes. Pay attention to the small, insignificant details. You know, we often take our toes for granted. We take our toes for granted. No secret here, I groom dogs for a living. And something about dogs is that their feet, they're very, very, very protective of their feet. And when they're small puppies, like, you have to teach them to tolerate doing things to their feet. The groomer has to cut their nails. The groomer has to shave the paw pads. They have to shave the hair off the paw pads and trim the hair around the feet. And they can fight that because they're extremely protective of their feet. If we don't have our feet, we can't hunt for ourselves. We cannot run away from danger. Feet are sacred. So there's something here about profound introspection and commitment to understanding and a commitment to transformation. What areas are being avoided, perhaps out of fear? It's time to fully engage with the dark and with the light. Engage with the dark and the light. Let's pull from these cards. I'm being drawn. This is, or it should be, this should be the Muse Tarot. It is. Okay. Alright, so integrating the shadow with the inner child. Very strong energy right now, spirits sitting over me. What does the collective need to know about this? Oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? If you want to know the truth, you have to turn the thing upside down. We live in an inverted reality. Where what they say is good is bad, and what they say is bad is actually good. Okay, what else? Okay. Alright, move this like this. So, let's look at the challenges first. We have the 7 of materials and the 7 of inspiration. As the challenges. Also 7-7. So this is connected to someone in the collective spirituality. So you're not seeing something. Maybe you have all these hopes and dreams and visions, but you've been locked down by something. This is putting in all of this work and energy and not seeing the fruits of your labor. All right, where's the hole? Seven of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands. This makes me feel like the vision card from the Wild Unknown Archetypes, which I just saw this morning. This is like you came, well, we come into this world with a vision for our lives. It's part of our blueprint. And the 7 of materials and the 7 of inspiration, this is about being strong and being patient. Trust the timing. Have faith in the divine. Faith like a mustard seed. Faith the size of a mustard seed. Tiny, tiny, tiny little itty bitty little thing can move mountains. That little tiny seed grows leaves this freaking big. Be patient. Stand your ground and be brave. All right. There's a new emotional beginning coming here. Also, with the Muse of Materials and the Queen of Emotions, this is slow. This is slow. But you've discovered something. You can see clearly the vision, but things are moving slow. There's an opportunity for new emotional fulfillment. In that emotional fulfillment is the ability for you to be grounded, stable. You get to become the muse. I don't know if I'd want to be the muse. I'd rather be the artist, to be perfectly honest with you. Become the leader of the dark and the light. This reminds me of the poem that I wrote last night. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Emotions here. The Page of Materials. The Empress. The Queen of Inspiration. An opportunity for emotional fulfillment. So you go right from the Ace of Emotions into the Three of Emotions. You completely skipped the partnership phase and went right into celebration. With the Empress, I'm hearing the dark and the light work for me. I command the dark and the light. So, and then there's some kind of clarity, some kind of wisdom coming. Gnosis. Gnosis in the empty room. Gnosis in the empty room. Wisdom, stability, and the potential to create anything. I command universes. I can create and destroy universes. This feels very creator, sustainer, destroyer like energy. This is the I am. The Queen of Inspiration is your gnosis. This is the discovering that I am. Your new emotional fulfillment, your celebration, your celebration. The Sun and the Three of Emotions. Clarity brings joy and celebration. The Empress. You become someone who... I'm hearing the phrase like, your ass is grass and I'm the lawnmower. Like, you're not taking any shit from anybody anymore. You are grounded and stable. But this is about your spirituality. This is about diving deep and discovering, like, you just had your moment of clarity with the Sun. And now you see. With the Queen of Emotions, your intuition is on fire. You've got the Queen of The two queens out here with the Empress. And honestly, you're bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realms. You are the bridge. Don't cut your limbs off. Don't cut your limbs off. Just because everybody around you is doing it doesn't mean that you should. In fact, you're the way shower. You're the light bringer. You bridge the gap for humanity. You're an intercessor between humanity and God. And you're being celebrated for it. You bring water to the desert. Okay, that's all I have today. Yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have a good week. Happy Labor Day. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.